making a waste-free future happen together. Your partner for change. CalRecycle is advancing world-leading reforms to cut waste and build circular use systems for all materials. A new milestone for California's plastic pollution reduction reforms. What CalRecycle's latest material characterization study reveals, plus the proposed recycling fees to help safely manage our e-waste. And wildfire debris removal missions near completion by CalRecycle-managed crews. Join California's climate fight and shift to a circular use economy. CalRecycle's monthly public meeting starts now.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Good morning, and thank you for joining us for CalRecycle's July 2025 monthly public meeting. We are happy to have the meeting back here at the Cal EPA headquarters in our Byron Share room. So hopefully we won't have any more technical glitches, but please bear with us if we do. We did have a complete system change, and it's been a process getting everything completely updated. So we appreciate your patience the last couple of months as we were virtual. And then I just want to let you know that we have progress and updates to share today. But before we begin, here's a brief language access message.
Shouldn't be a barrier when it comes to protecting our air, water, and land. CalRecycle is simulcasting this meeting in both English and Spanish. Click the public meeting banner at the top of calrecycle.ca.gov for a link to our webcast in English and Spanish. If you're attending this meeting in person in Byron Share Auditorium, we have Spanish interpretation devices available. Let our team on the left-hand side of the dais know if you need one. El idioma no debe de ser una barrera cuando se trata de proteger nuestro aire, nuestra agua y tierra. CalRecycle está transmitiendo simultáneamente esta junta pública en español e inglés. Puede encontrar el enlace en línea en español e inglés en la parte superior de nuestra página web calrecycle.ca.gov. Si asiste a esta junta en persona en el auditorio Byron Share, tenemos dispositivos de traducción al español disponibles. Solo informe a nuestro equipo al lado izquierdo del mostrador de presentación si necesita uno.
And bear with us as we go through today's agenda. We will briefly pause after each agenda item to give our live Spanish language interpreters time to relay the information. Your public comments are important to us, so we will accept them throughout the meeting on Zoom or by phone as well as in person. You can find the Zoom link and call-in instructions on CalRecycle's monthly public meeting webpage. Please raise your hand in Zoom or call in now if you have comments on the upcoming items: the Director's Report, the Plastic Pollution Prevention and Responsible Textile Recovery Act implementation, grants and loans, disaster debris removal operations. And so now we will turn to our first agenda item, the Director's Report. CalRecycle Director Zoe Howlett is here with updates. Good morning, Zoe.
Morning, Maria, and good morning, everybody. As Maria said, it's nice to be back in person with working tech. I feel like I need to knock on wood somewhere, but so far, so good. Great to see you all today. We have a lot to cover on today's agenda, so I'll just give some brief remarks on some updates that you all may find interesting. We've had a lot of outreach lately on the extended polystyrene restriction under Senate Bill 54, the packaging EPR law. And so we've done a couple of things just this past week. We posted FAQs on our website that answer many of the questions that we've received either through our inbox or through conversations. So we hope that finds you helpful. It demystifies a little bit how the law works and who's a producer and ultimately what different responsibilities entities have under that law. We've also launched a complaint portal, so that can all be linked from our homepage. Is that right, Maria? Yeah, so on the CalRecycle homepage, you can find both of those resources. As a little bit in the weeds here, but our team has had many focuses, our 54 team, to achieve the various statutory requirements and also the reinitiation of the reg package. So we're pivoting back towards more focus on the extended polystyrene restriction, and our team will be doing outreach to businesses, particularly those that you all raised to us in the complaint portal or other ways. So thank you all for your patience with that. We'll be getting more information out as it becomes available, and look forward to implementing that part of the law. Another update that I wanted to provide is we have our first informal workshop on our textile extended producer responsibility program. That's going to be Thursday, so 2 days from today, both in here and you can tune in virtually as well. So really looking forward to getting that program up and going, getting some early feedback from you all, and just understanding, where your priorities are as we start thinking about the rulemaking process for textiles. So with that, I will turn it back over to Maria.
Thanks so much. Next on the agenda is an important new milestone on California's nation-leading reforms on the single-use plastic pollution law. Deputy Director of Circular Economy, Michelle Martin, is here with a few implementation updates. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. CalRecycle is in the informal phase of the rulemaking process and remains committed to advancing California's plastic and packaging stewardship reforms. As required by the state's plastic and packaging pollution prevention law, the department has published preliminary findings for the material characterization study, which characterized and measured the amount of covered materials landfilled in California. Let's watch a quick video on how the material characterization study process works.
Truck by truck, California landfill scales show the magnitude of the problem.
We dispose 40 million tons of waste a year.
But to solve California's trash crisis, we have to know what's in the trash.
We need to understand what materials are in the waste stream so that we can then look at how do we target these materials.
Waste characterization studies pick apart what we throw away. To do the study, CalRecycle hires skilled specialists to separate waste.
Once our vehicle surveyor a lot gets a sample, a load selected, they come over, they dump it over here.
From there, we pull out our 200 pounds, process it, weigh it, take our photos.
The garbage is then sorted,
88 categories.
categorized, and recorded.
And got it. We record the weight on a digital tablet with the data management platform that we've got.
Of the various reports on what Californians throw away, waste characterization is the only one to get detailed about what is in our garbage. As California moves to disrupt the endless stream of single-use trash polluting our neighborhoods and warming our planet, waste characterization studies are an important tool to identify the problems and measure change.
We want policy that is based on sound science and good information. The circular economy is all about making sure the material that you bring into the system can be sustained perpetually. So you minimize raw material that you bring in, you maximize reuse and recycling.
Minimizing waste to maximize our economy and move California closer to a zero-waste future with less trash pollution and more green jobs.
The preliminary findings are available on our website. The publication follows our June 23rd non-regulatory workshop, where we gathered feedback from the public, regulated community, and other interested parties regarding draft producer reporting guidance and covered material categories. On July 2nd, CalRecycle released a preview copy of the draft regulation text that was shared with the Department of Finance as part of the review of the draft standardized regulatory impact assessment. This latest draft shows proposed adoption, amendment, and deletion of regulations in strikeout and underline over the version of the proposed text from March 2024 to March 2025 rulemaking. With possible minor adjustments, this is anticipated to be the version of the proposed regulations released for the 45-day formal rulemaking comment period later this year. And finally, the Packaging Producer Responsibility Advisory Board will not be meeting this month. The next meeting is scheduled for August 15th in the Coastal Hearing Room. And for more information, check out CalRecycle's website and sign up for our listserv. Director Heller mentioned this in her comments, and CalRecycle is holding an informal public workshop on Thursday, July 17th, this Thursday, to provide an overview of the Responsible Textile Recovery Act of 2024. We'll also go over the producer responsibility organization requirements and California's rulemaking process. You can join us in person here or online through Zoom or the CalEPA live stream. More details are linked in today's agenda and on our new textile webpage. A new round of circular economy investments aim to boost recycled glass and beverage containers, and Lauren Varva joins us now with more information on this funding opportunity.
Thank you, Michelle. Good morning. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. So CalRecycle's Recycled Glass Processing Incentive Grant Program has $7.5 million available for eligible private businesses and nonprofits to increase glass cullet in the making of new glass beverage containers. Grants range from $1 million to $4 million. Grant eligibility and criteria are linked in today's agenda. Applicants will be recommended for funding according to the project score. We expect to release the notice of funds in August with applications due in September. Back to you, Michelle.
Lauren. Next, CalRecycle approved over $300,000 in cleanup funding to communities and tribes to restore farming and agricultural lands littered by illegal dumping. The Farm and Ranch Solid Waste Cleanup and Abatement Awards will help the Pitt River Tribe in the northwest part of the state to address illegal dumping of vehicles and other trash along the tribe's 100 square mile territory. The Contra Costa Resource Conservation District in San Benito County also received funds to clear areas to prevent future dumping, and more award details are linked in today's agenda. And we have several open cycles that I wanted to announce. Our next Farm and Ranch grant applications are due in October 7th. The Beverage Container Redemption Innovation Grant applications for beverage dealers are due on August 5th. The Beverage Container Redemption Innovation Grant applications for recycling centers are due on September 2nd. The Tire Derived Aggregate grant applications are due July 17th, and the Tire Incentive Program applications are due August 20th. And you can find all of that on our funding page with links to those notice of funds available. And with that, I'll turn it back to Maria.
Thanks so much, Michelle. So now we're going to turn to our Disaster Debris Recovery Operations Program with Deputy Director Jen Hogan to give us a few updates. Good morning, Jen.
Thank you. Debris removal for the 2024 wildfire season continues in Northern California, where cleanup for the Park, Thompson, and Boyles fires are nearing completion. Bulk debris removal has been completed for the Boyles fire in Lake County. The last 3 properties are under final review, so they can be turned back over to the county. There are only 3 properties to be cleared from the Thompson fire in Oroville. And the Park fire in Butte and Tehama counties was the largest of the 2024 wildfires in both number of properties destroyed and the geographic range of damage. And our crews have completed clearing 92% of those enrolled properties. And with that, I will turn it back to.
So much, Jen. So now we are going to go to public comments. Do we have any public comments from any attendees in the room? This is on the different items we just mentioned. So go ahead and turn the mic on. I don't think it's on.
Good morning, Nick Lapis with California Against Waste. Is that better? Can you guys hear me? Is it working? Okay. Good morning, Nick Lapis with California Against Waste. Just wanted to thank you for putting up the complaint portal for EPS. As you know, that this is sort of the first enforceable target and mandate we have in SB 54, and I think it goes way beyond EPS in terms of the implications of whether or not this is actually being enforced. So thank you.
Evan Edgar, California Compost Coalition. I could play back my speech from last year, July 2024, about the zero waste plan. So I'm going to do it again since I don't have it up on screen. But the zero waste plan is a $2 million plan and been really little output. And some input on the same workshops with same kind of questionnaire, but there's been zero output. Not by material type, not by technology, not by markets, not by anything. We have zero output. We haven't even defined zero waste still. There's no modeling. I've asked under public records a couple of times for interim reports from Accenture that I got a copy of the contract and there's benchmarks. You guys won't give it to me. You won't turn it over. We don't know how it's going to roll out. It's October 1st is the report's going to do. First time an output report, I think, is October 1. We haven't seen anything. Another huge lost opportunity is, once again, we got California Resource Recovery Association annual meeting August 1 through the 3rd, and they had the very first zero waste workshop in 1998 in Monterey. I was there, and we're back there. So once again, another huge opportunity lost. I try to get some type of highlighted zero waste plan out there, but there's one panel and one luncheon. But this is huge lost opportunity, lack of output, and since over the last 2 years in this $2 million study, there's a new issue that popped up on utility. We know that the water, from wastewater to utilities to gas to electricity, rates are through the roof. Solid waste rates, about $35 to $40 per month per household to do a 3-cart 1383 system to get us where we're at today, which we don't really know. That state of recycling report is from 2023, still hasn't been posted yet. Supposed to be posted by April of each year, and 2024 should be here too. So we don't know where we're at after a couple of years on state of recycling. Don't know where we're at with zero waste. But one of the things I've been asking about the modeling was, what does it cost to get to 75% with an RNG fleet? That's cost effective. It's here and now. It's carbon negative. It's what we're doing. And that cost to get to 75% probably be around $50 per household per month. But with zero waste and zero emissions, what the public sector still has to do with 8,000 vehicles, got to go battery electric. The CapEx on that is going to be so expensive. And non-functional is half the payload, twice the cost. Tastes expensive, less filling. It's really going to be over $100 a household per month. So in a context of affordability, which is happening everywhere in the state of California, we just missed a boat here at CalRecycle. I've tried to bring that in to the conversation for the last 2 years, and no feedback. As part of the zero waste plan, as part of the definition, there's also part of the scope is about cost. What is the cost to do it? And hopefully, when I was working on a scoping plan for 4 times at CARB, there was a lot of workshops, a lot of public input, a lot of feedback, a lot of modeling. Transparency is another word for it, which we aren't getting here at zero waste. There's no transparency on a zero waste plan. So in a new context of affordability modeling, what we should be modeling is 75% to RNG, and what does it take you to zero waste with zero emissions? $35 a ton, $35 a household a month, or 100. And somehow I've been lobbying, advocating for 2 years on it to deaf ears. No feedback on it. You can send me another questionnaire. I've done about 4 of those with you guys, but there's no output, no public research requests on any report. We have a big workshop coming up. We have October 1 report. I'm at a loss with what's going on with zero waste and zero emissions and affordability. And each month I come up here, I just get a lot of head shakes, but no output.
Thanks, Evan, and I hear your frustration. You mentioned CRRA. We're really looking forward to participating on a panel there and holding a panel on the zero waste plan with some of the implementers in the state, where we've seen a lot of alignment with achieving various zero waste goals. So looking forward to that and looking forward to participating in the lunch. We're also planning on holding a workshop, I believe at the end of the summer, early fall. The deliverable is Jan 1. So we've got a little bit of time to workshop various components. We received an incredible amount of feedback, and we're still internalizing that feedback and thinking about, the statutory directive that we have and how to best do that. We're working on the zero waste plan along with a number of other reports, as you know, including the needs assessment for Senate Bill 54, which is bringing in a lot of data and information that we haven't had previously. So we're in a pretty intense data gathering mode right now. Did want to speak briefly to state of. We haven't had a lot of questions about where it is, and I think that's because of the work that's happening with the zero waste plan. So to provide some more specifics on that, the state of report was initially developed every year in response to PRC 41780.02. And that's sunset in 2017, but we kept doing it because we understood that there was value. The methodology in which we were using to determine the recycling rate is something that we're reevaluating right now, given a lot of the information that we've received, input that we've received, the fact that we are collecting a lot more data that get to more specifics. So as part of the zero waste planning, we're thinking about, reporting moving forward. The challenge is If we change our methodology now, the number may look significantly different than when we released the 2022 report. So how do we bridge that gap? So these are some conversations that we're having internally and thinking about and wanting to modernize our methodology to align better with the data that we're collecting today, but also to not look like we're artificially inflating the number or deflating the number, so that we're thinking about defensible ways in which to calculate recycling rate. We have more robust information coming in from jurisdictions. We're going to be having a lot more robust information coming in on specific packaging and those sorts of things. And the other thing that we're looking at is delivery of that information. A static report we don't think is the best mechanism anymore when we get data on a rolling basis. So for example, exports data, we may be able to update more frequently. So in the development of the zero waste plan, we're thinking a lot about, as we are receiving data from new sources, as we're seeing different trends, as we're thinking about the increase in disaster debris going to landfills, ultimately, what does that look like when we're thinking about recycling rate and disposal? And we've gotten a lot of rich input through the zero waste plan engagement. So understand your frustration. We are going to have more zero waste engagements soon, and we fully intend to continue to publish recycling rate information and those sorts of things. We're just taking a pause right now as we're doing the zero waste planning to ensure that what we're providing is the most up-to-date, data-driven, and that we're confident in the methodology and that we have some comparable metrics for what we've put out before. So I just wanted to share kind of where we are in process, and it's been a lot of data gathering with where we're at today. So thank you for your comments.
Okay, so looking ahead, do we have any online comments?
Nothing online.
I'm looking ahead. Please raise your hand in Zoom or call in now if you have comments on these upcoming items: the covered electronic waste recycling program, the product stewardship for mattresses, pharmaceuticals, and sharps waste, or on solid waste facility permits and waivers. And so now we will go to CalRecycle's covered electronic waste program. It has safely collected over 2.7 billion pounds of e-waste, preventing dangerous materials from polluting our communities. Materials Management and Local Assistance Division E-Waste Branch Chief Martine Boswell joins us now with some important program updates. Good morning, Martine.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. To support e-waste recycling infrastructure and convenient recycling opportunities, consumers pay a recycling fee on certain electronic devices at the time of retail purchase. CalRecycle works with the Department of Toxic Substances Control to determine if current fees are adequate to fund the operation and administration of the covered electronic waste recycling program. By law, CalRecycle must determine fee adjustments by August 1st, 2025. Our considerations are based on recovery and recycling trends to project future payment obligations, sales trends to project revenue potential, and program-related operational costs, as well as available fund balance. Staff recommend that the current CEW recycling fee levels for video display devices remain unchanged at $4, $5, or $6, depending on screen size. Staff also recommend updating the video display device recycling fee effective date from 2024 to 2026. Upon approval of these recommendations, staff will promulgate emergency regulations to readopt the current CEW recycling fee levels as authorized by Public Resources Code, Section 42475.2. Next slide. California is adding certain battery-embedded products to its covered electronic waste recycling program. The law requires CalRecycle to develop regulations establishing a recycling fee for covered battery-embedded products. CalRecycle conducted an analysis to determine the proposed covered battery-embedded waste recycling fee. Based on the analysis, CalRecycle at this time is considering setting the covered battery-embedded waste recycling fee at 1.5% of the retail sales price for each covered battery embedded product sold for use in this state by a retailer. On May 28th, 2025, CalRecycle held an informal emergency rulemaking workshop to solicit feedback on the proposed fee and regulatory text. Additional updates on the proposed fee will be provided in late summer through fall of this year. And for additional updates, please subscribe to CalRecycle's e-waste listserv. Thank you.
Jane. So now we will turn back to Deputy Director Michelle Martin to discuss product stewardship updates.
Lots of updates to share. Okay, so starting with a home-generated sharp waste stewardship program update. CalRecycle received proposed changes to the Drug Takeback Solutions Foundation Stewardship Plan for home-generated sharp waste regarding local agency request on June 2nd, 2025. The proposed changes are currently under review as a significant change to Foundation's plan. CalRecycle accepted public comments through June 23rd and will present the director's determination on an upcoming monthly public meeting agenda. After announcing CalRecycle's receipt and review at a prior public monthly meeting and soliciting public comments, the department decision for the following items have been posted online and are linked in today's agenda. For med projects and the Drug Takeback Solutions Foundation's 2024 annual reports and 2026 annual report budgets for the covered drugs extended producer responsibility programs, SHARP's extended producer responsibility programs, decisions were posted on June 20th for the annual budgets and June 30th for the annual reports. The annual reports and annual budgets that were conditionally approved or disapproved must be resubmitted to CalRecycle within 60 days of their respective notices to the program operators. CalRecycle will announce receipt of resubmitted annual reports and annual budgets at an upcoming monthly public meeting and solicit public comments for those documents. For the Drug Takeback Solution Foundation's proposed changes to its covered drugs stewardship plan, decisions were posted on June 16th, 2025 and June 17th. Now turning to mattress stewardship program, on or before July 1st every year, the Mattress Recycling Organization is required to submit an annual report to CalRecycle describing the stewardship program activities for the previous calendar year and a program budget that demonstrates adequate funding to cover the anticipated costs of implementing the program in the upcoming year. On July 1st, 2025, CalRecycle received the Mattress Recycling Council's 2024 annual report and 2026 program budget. These documents are currently being reviewed for compliance with statute and regulations and the Mattress Recycling Council's stewardship plan. CalRecycle has 90 days to make compliance determinations. The statutory deadline for the director's decision is September 29th, 2025. CalRecycle will present the director's determinations at a future public monthly meeting. And CalRecycle is accepting public comments on the above submittals through July 16th. You can find more information about these documents related to these items in the public notice in today's agenda.
Thanks, Michelle. Next, Senior Waste Management Engineer Steve Santa Croce is here with a solid waste disposal and co-disposal cleanup program announcement. Good morning, Steve.
Thank you. Let's try that again. Good morning. Under this CalRecycle-managed project, CalRecycle contractors will work with federal partners to clear a former encampment on Bureau of Land Management land in the city of Reading. The Bureau of Land Management is contributing their staff time and $125,000 in contractor efforts to collect household waste materials from the site near the Clear Creek across from Wind River Resort and Casino. CalRecycle is participating by using a department-managed contractor. Will collect and safely dispose or recycle the waste at an estimated cost of $55,730. CalRecycle solid waste disposal and co-disposal cleanup program supports projects where the responsible party is either unwilling or unable to pay for a timely cleanup necessary to protect public health and the environment. And just to add, BLM has already started work on the property this past week, and CalRecycle will start on Monday. That's
So
it.
much.
Thank you.
So let's watch a quick solid waste permits and waivers program explainer before diving into our July 2025 updates from Program Manager Paulina Lawrence.
To keep Californians healthy and protect our land, food, water, and air, CalRecycle and local enforcement agencies work together. Local enforcement agencies get community input, process permit applications, conduct inspections, and make sure solid waste facilities follow the law. CalRecycle verifies that permits for solid waste facilities, including landfills and compost sites, comply with state standards and inspections. Agreeing with the LEA that a permit is ready to be issued is known as concurring. Additionally, CalRecycle reviews approved emergency waivers and can modify, limit, or end them. Emergency waivers temporarily modify solid waste facility permits for up to 120 days and may be extended, providing relief for facility operators during disasters, and they're approved by local enforcement agencies. For waste tire facilities, CalRecycle issues and enforces waste tire facility permits to make sure tires are stored and processed safely. Scan this QR code or visit CalRecycle's website for more detailed information.
For those permit action items the department has concurred or issued on since last month's meeting, for Kern County, CalRecycle has found that the proposed permit meets all the state requirements and concurs or agrees with the Kern County Local Enforcement Agency on June 19, 2025, a revised solid waste facilities permit for Mojave Rosamond Recycling and Sanitary Landfill. CalRecycle must have made a decision for this permit action by June 24, 2025. For San Joaquin County, CalRecycle has issued a new minor waste tire facility permit on July 3, 2025 for K Export. CalRecycle must have made a decision for this permit action by July 8, 2025. For Merced County, CalRecycle has found the proposed permit meets all the state requirements and concurs or agrees with the Merced County Local Enforcement Agency on July 2, 2025, a new solid waste facilities permit for Agraman Merced Highway 59 compost facility. CalRecycle must have made a decision for this permit action by August 31st, 2025. Continuing on this month's agenda, for Kern County, U.S. Borax Inc. This is a modified solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by July 15th, 2025. For Monterey County, AgroThrive Inc. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by August 30th, 2025. For Sacramento County, JAF Tire Recycling LLC. This is a new minor waste tire facility permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by September 20th, 2025. For Solano County, EcoCycle Ventures Inc. This is a new minor waste tire facility permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by October 6th, 2025. For Tehama County, City of Red Bluff Materials Recovery Facility. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by July 19th, 2025. For Tehama County Red Bluff Landfill. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by July 19th, 2025. For Imperial County Desert Valley Company Monofill Facility. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by August 2nd, 2025. New to this month's agenda, for the City of San Diego, Sycamore Landfill. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by August 23rd, 2025. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes. Increase in the maximum permitted tonnage from 5,000 tons per day to 7,500 tons per day. Increase in the maximum daily traffic from 869 tickets per day to 1,100 tickets per day. Change in the permitted hours of operations from Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday to Sunday, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. for tipping. And then from Monday to Friday, 4 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday to Sunday, 4 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the scale house. This will be changed to Saturday through Friday for receiving and processing of waste from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then green materials processing from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. The aggregate facility operations will be Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday to Sunday, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. New and not on this month's agenda, for Calaveras County, Cal Waste Double Springs Road Transfer Station. This is a new solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by August 31st, 2025. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed design parameters. The proposed facility will be a large volume transfer processing facility. The permitted maximum tonnage of 250 tons per day. The permitted maximum traffic volume will be 84 vehicles per day. And then the permitted area will be 7.29 acres.
And now Paulina joins us in the room with a few live updates. Good morning, Paulina.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. We just have a few updates here. For Kern County, CalRecycle has found that the proposed permit meets all the state requirements and concurs or agrees with the Kern County LEA on July 15th. July 14th, 2025. Excuse me. This is for a modified solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by July 15th, 2025. So the permit was concurred on July 14th, 2025. And then we have two new changes for Tehama counties. This is for Tehama County. This is for the Tehama County City Red Bluff Materials Recovery Transfer Facility. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle will now make a decision for this permit action by September 12th, 2025. And then also for Tehama County, for the Tehama County Red Bluff Landfill, this revised solid waste facilities permit, the action date for CalRecycle has changed to September 12th, 2025. Thank you. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks, Paulina. Okay, and so next we are going to talk about the CalRecycle Education and Outreach Campaign. CalRecycle is announcing that we have launched our Recycling Reimagined Public Education and Outreach Campaign last week, and this is to introduce concepts related to zero waste, as well as to increase beverage container redemption and recycling of food scraps and other waste. CalRecycle's executive team has worked closely with an advertising agency contractor called Misfit on the research and development of this campaign. And here's a quick video on the new campaign.
CalRecycle's Recycling Reimagined campaign research showed that Californians most strongly supported a campaign that focused on Californians' pride in recycling. Our research also showed that campaigns garner the most behavior change when they point to small steps people can take to have a big impact. CalRecycle's key priorities set campaign calls to action to increase beverage container redemption with wine, spirits, and large juice containers added to the program, and to encourage food waste recycling. Research audiences expressed much stronger motivation to recycle food scraps when they learned that food and other organic waste rotting in landfills emits methane climate pollution that contributes to droughts and wildfires. Social media and digital ads will point people back to the recyclingreimaginedca.com website, where they can learn more about how to reduce their food waste, how to cash in CRV, and how to recycle food waste, as well as more on coming changes with the plastic pollution prevention law. People can dig deeper into cashing in CRV with newly centralized resources, including what they can cash in, as wine and spirits and larger juice containers have joined the program, and where they can cash in, as well as easy ways to get help and find the closest places to cash in beverage containers. They can also learn more about the rules for recycling and the progress California is making. The website also shows why it's important to recycle organic waste and easy ways to recycle food scraps. Here's more on how CalRecycle is reimagining recycling.
A small step composting here, and the additional step we take recycling here, makes all the difference for how much gets repurposed here. Composting your food scraps in your green materials bin and taking beverage containers to a recycling location to claim their California redemption value are just two of the small steps you can take today for a better tomorrow. This is how we're reimagining recycling, California. And it all starts here.
The public service announcement campaign is already rolling out in both English and Spanish on TV and streaming platforms, radio, digital with video display ads on websites, social media with ads on platforms, sponsored posts and influencer posts, and out of home on digital billboards. Please keep a lookout for these public service announcements and engage with us on your favorite social media platform. And now we will turn to public comments. First, we'll take any more comments that we have in the room, but also please raise your hand in Zoom. Have any more? Like we have one comment in the room.
Hi. Hi, my name is Allison. Yeah, you're good. Hello? Hello? No.
Testing, can you hear this?
Hi, my name is Allison from Elk Grove, California. I'm currently a student at UCLA and an intern with Environment California. On behalf of myself and Environment California, I'm here to oppose changing SB 54 to allow chemical recycling. Plastics in our environment harm everything from our oceans to our forests to our own bodies. According to the United Nations, at least 800 species worldwide are affected by marine debris, and 80% of that litter is plastic. Industries have pushed for plastic use for convenience and monetary gain, and now we need to push for a decrease in plastic use for the health and safety of our planet. Right now, the equivalent of a dump truck of plastic goes into the ocean every 45 seconds, and our landfills are overflowing with unrecycled plastics. The current regulations are allowing these plastic pollutants to only increase. So I urge CalRecycle to take action in strengthening regulations to address plastic pollution through real recycling technology rather than allowing chemical recycling. Burning plastics release harmful chemicals into the air, producing unavoidable plastic pollutants into our environment. It's a shortcut around real solutions that stand out from California's precedent as an environmental leader. California must do its part in demonstrating responsibility towards our environment and not allow the plastic industry space to further harm our communities. SB 54's original purpose was to safeguard against producing unnecessary plastics and cutting plastic pollution. By allowing chemical recycling, CalRecycle would be foregoing the original intent of SB 54 and backing down from the fight to reduce plastic pollution. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Any more comments in the room? Seeing none, do we have any on Zoom?
Yes, we have 2 people in queue. Let's start first with Federation of the Swiss Watch. I will ask you to unmute right now and go ahead with your comment.
Yes. Okay. Hello. Sorry. It does work. Yes. Thank you very much. So first we say that we appreciate the opportunity to comment on the implementation of SB 1215 regarding e-waste and the new proposed covered battery embed waste recycling fee. As a Swiss Watch Federation, we are quite concerned by the fact that the proposed uniform fee set at 1.5% of retail price will place a disproportionate burden on certain product categories such as quartz, watches. And we consider that watches contain very small button cell batteries, and these batteries are only accessible by trained professionals using very specific professional tools, and the battery are changed by professionals which already ensure compliance with California battery recycling regulation. They systematically recycle on the used button cells. So we consider that customer will be charged twice if they have to pay first a recycling fee at purchase and then to pay again when the watch will be repaired or the battery replaced by the professional. And secondly, so we consider as well that the watch itself is a long terms lifespan, so it's not a fast moving consumer goods. So usually you will change the battery, but you will keep the product, and the tax which will be levied would be no longer related to the work required and the objective of the law. It's a principle of cost equivalence, because if it's 1.5%, you can imagine, so depending the high value of the watches, so the recycling fee will be in no more equivalence with the task of recycling or the price of the button cell. So we respectfully request that we have exemptions, so really reduce fixed rates for specific product as such quartz watches. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your comment, and appreciate you raising it here. I also, if we could get your contact information, we could connect with you with the program staff to speak a little bit more about this issue. There's a statute is specific about where there's exclusions and exemptions. I want to make sure I use the right term. So happy to have the discussion more with you to see if there's a way we can address this within our authority, but at least to ensure that we're all looking at the law and thinking about it the same way. So thank you for your comments, and our team will follow up.
Thank you. We have one more person, Timothy Michno. Go ahead with your comment. Can you hear us? Can you say the name of the commenter again? Timothy Michno?
Can you hear me?
We can now, yes.
Oh, great. Okay, terrific. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for taking the comment. Tim Michno with the American Watch Association. We're an industry association representing just about every major watch brand sold in California and the US, including Swatch, Movado, Citizen, Seiko, Fossil, Bulova, Omega, Longines, Tag Heuer, Rolex, to name just a few. And like our Swiss colleagues who just spoke, the AWA fully supports the goals of SB 1215 to encourage the reuse and recycling of as many materials sold as possible to help build a circular remanufacturing economy, turning pollution sources into new materials. While we support efforts to responsibly manage end-of-life covered battery embedded products, we're deeply concerned that the proposed uniform fee of 1.5% would unfairly burden high-value, low battery mass products such as watches. Most battery-powered wristwatches contain extremely small button cell batteries that are encased with the watch's movement into durable, long-lasting timepieces. Such watches are typically designed to be opened for service or a battery replacement by a professional using one or more special tools. This is primarily to protect the integrity of the watch movement as well as its water-resistant properties, which can be damaged or compromised if the watch is opened improperly. For this reason, the used batteries themselves, as legally required, are routinely recycled by the watch retailers and the service centers replacing them. Furthermore, unlike many other battery-embedded products, for example, laptop computers that become obsolete or are regularly replaced every few years with newer next-gen models, watches are usually not discarded unless the watch itself requires significant or costly repairs. Rather, similar to jewelry, watches are generally kept for many years, if not a lifetime. Applying a fixed percentage recycling fee based on the retail value of the watch itself without regard to the long-term lifespan of that product and without taking into account the product's minimal battery content disproportionately penalizes manufacturers and consumers of wristwatches. For instance, a 1.5% fee on a $1,000 wristwatch with a 50-cent battery, which is the approximate cost of a button cell battery, imposes a $15 cost, 30 times the value of the embedded battery. This is not reflective of the true cost of recycling and unjustly impacts an industry that already adheres to strict environmental and product stewardship standards. By comparison, the corresponding fee on a typical $1,000 laptop with a screen size between 15 and 35 inches is only $5. Moreover, a typical button cell battery weighs less than 2.8 grams. A laptop battery can weigh up to 960 grams. As an example, a Dell 6-cell 95-watt battery weighs almost a pound, 450 grams, or 160 times as much as the average wristwatch battery. We respectfully urge CalRecycle to consider a more equitable approach, such as tiered or scaled fee structures based on battery weight or estimated recycling quantities and cost, exemptions or reduced rates for products where battery mass falls below a specific threshold, or differentiation between consumer electronics and high durability consumer goods with negligible battery components. Thanks for letting me speak today, and thanks for your attention to this matter and your time this morning. And if you need my contact details, they're in a letter that we sent, that the AWA sent a few weeks ago to CalRecycle.
Thank you very much for your comments, and just echo my response for the previous commenter. We appreciate your engagement, and our team will reach out to discuss where we may have some flexibility or just to brainstorm some potential solutions down the road for the concerns that you're raising. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any other commenters? Those are all of the online comments. Same with calls. Right, so that's it for this today and this month. You can find the July 2025 monthly public meeting recording in English and Spanish on CalRecycle's YouTube channel as soon as possible. Please follow our social media and GovDelivery email list for CalRecycle program updates. Thanks to everyone who participated in today's public meeting, and we will see you next month. Thank you.